Alright, we're going to do a little tutorial on Windows Movie Maker. So to open Movie Maker, you'll need to go, and the mouse is going to cut off here, but if I scroll down to my Windows button and I click it, and then I'm just going to type in Movie Maker, and then it should pop up. So this is the app that we want to open. Now if it's not on your laptop, you will have to log into a desktop to use it there. Once you get in, you have the big open workspace here, and then you've got your toolbars with all the editing features up here. We can add videos and photos that way, or using this button here. They both do the exact same thing. So if I click, I do have my phone plugged in, so I wanted to show you that if I look through here, there's my iPhone, and if I were to open it up, it's actually going to not open anything, and I know I've got stuff on my phone. So if I were to click my folder, my File Explorer, it's a little picture of the folder. Again, my mouse is getting cut off right here. And I were to click on my iPhone and actually go in, it does tell me that I have none. So unplug, replug, and then I've got to allow, so that I can allow photos to be chosen. So if I go in, see, it's going to show up. If I click here, then hopefully I've got my video files and anything that I could need. The problem is that if I try to add something from here, see, this is the error message that we get. It's got to be on your hard drive. So if you have these files and they are on your phone, you're just going to need to go into your phone through File Explorer, go in, find your video, and then you're just going to copy and move it to another location. So here, this is an image file. You can see MOV, movie file. So if I were to take this and just drag it into Documents, or if I make another folder for this movie, then put it somewhere, but it needs to be there in your hard drive. Now I already have the video that I'm going to use for mine, and you can add more than one. I'm just adding one just to kind of show you how it works. So I'm going to go through and then find, I put this in my Documents folder, and then this is for my IBA class, formatting. So as I add it in, you can see this is going to be the length of the video. So 7 minutes, 45 seconds. And down in the bottom, which again is cut off just a little, it's preparing our files. So I can't actually finish or do anything with my movie until that's finished, down again in the bottom right in here. So while I'm waiting for that to open, I do know that I want a title to have pop up right before. This is a great place to name your movie, and it's also a great place to add in your group members' names. So we can put in here, this is your Scary Maze tutorial. And you also have the option to adjust your text box, move it around. You can change your font. If you go under your text tools format, we can edit the text. We can change the color of the text and all that good stuff. If you don't want the background to be black here, we can adjust that. And you just got to pay attention where you click on. So right now, I've clicked on the actual background. So if I were to try to edit, that's what it's going to edit, is my background color. So maybe I decide I want purple, my text, Scary Maze tutorial. And again, this is also a great place to add in your group members' names. So if you'd like to add text, the easiest thing to do is probably just to expand that text box and add it here. And then we put names. All right, so that's the beginning part. Now, if I click on my background, you can see up in my tools, this is going to last 7 seconds. 7 seconds is pretty long for an introduction. I'm going to shorten mine. I'm going to adjust it to 4. Now, when I do that, watch the text. So I click 4, and the text got short. The video clipped it, because when I was under text tools, that means I shortened the text. I did not shorten the background slide. So if I click here and edit under video tools, then I should be able to edit that background slide too. And I'm just going to do 4 just so that it matches, so that both of those are the same. Now if I click play, you can see that's going to fade in. If you don't like that effect, you can change that as well. So if we go under our animations, you can change the way that something appears. You can apply all sorts of different options to it for your transitions. You can make something zoom in, zoom out. So you've got some editing here that you can kind of play around with. For me, just leaving it straight. So there's our tutorial, and then we'll hear me start talking. All right, so let's say that right here, this first part of the video section, let's say I don't need that. So I want to take from here to here in my movie out. So right now I'm at 8.5 seconds, and if I were to go back, that's going to be at starting at 4. So I want to take out the first 4 sections of this clip. Now the way to do that is under our video tools. What you're going to do is you're actually going to cause a split. Now you could actually do a couple of different things. You can trim to hide any unwanted parts so that it's still there. But what I like to do is split. Now watch when I do that. So when I click split, it created a split. So this turned this into a separate movie or separate clip than this clip here. So now these two are separate. So if I were to just click, I can right click and remove it. And then that way that will be out. Now another option is if you don't want to do a split and we realize that here is really where we want it to start at, then I go up and I choose set start point, and it will trim the video so that it starts there. You can do the same thing at the end. If it's something in the middle, you will probably need to do a split and then just take out the section. So if we wanted to split, let's say take out this section here, then if I bring my cursor down, do one split, I drag it over to as far as I want to go, let's say maybe it's here, and I click another split. That's going to separate this clip from the rest of it. So then again, I just right click and I remove, and then that part is gone. Now, another helpful feature when you're making Movie Maker is as you're giving instructions to your audience, sometimes it's helpful to add captions. So if I go back here and decide, let's see, what are we doing here? We're adjusting to heading in the actual video itself at this point. So I could, once I go in, add in a caption. So back to home, I'm going to click on caption. You can see that the text box pops up here, and then this is what it's going to look like on the screen. Now, if I start typing, it's going to disappear because my font is white. So I'm actually going to adjust my font to a different color, and then we're going to type in what we want this to be. So if this is format Now you can adjust that the same way we did before. So if we were to edit, and then where did our text actually go? Then I click play. Oh look, I made it angry. Then it should work. Hopefully it won't do for you what it just did there for us. So what I'll need to do is open Movie Maker back up. This is also an excellent reason why you should make sure that you save your file very often so that you are not like Ms. Redis. So if I click restore, yay, it worked. It didn't keep my title or anything else, but the video's there. So again, we've looked at how to split and cut out certain sections. We can also add in. So if you were to find, let's say you remember that kind of clip that we looked at yesterday, maybe we want to split our clip here, and then if I go back to home, add videos and photos, and this one I put into, so let's say we've got some pictures here of the kids, of my children. So maybe I wanted to click a picture. There's my dog. We're going to pull a picture of my dog then. Now if that's not where I wanted to put it, then I just drag it. I click and hold and drag it where I want it to be. And then we're just going to have this random picture pop up. So this doesn't fit my video. Now you can actually add in different still shots too, and it pans over just a little bit and then clicks right back into your video. So if you have something to add in to spice your video up a little bit, you can add some pictures. Maybe you want to have like a scary face pop up at them. That's a great thing to do. So titles, captions, we can also add pictures. You can also add music. If you have sound in your video, then you've got to remember that you don't want to overpower it. But if I were to click add music, and you've got a couple of options here if you find some online. If you actually have some downloaded, you could also go down to add music here. If I were at a particular place in my movie, I can click on current point and it adds it in exactly where I am. So you've got some choices. If I click add music, it's going to open to, this is opening to my music folder, and I have nothing in my music folder. But if I downloaded something, then I could go to my downloads or documents and add that in. And when you add in music, it's going to give you a new tool, just like it did for text. It'll add a new tool here for audio. and then you're going to have to adjust that audio. So it's probably going to come in playing very loudly. So if it's background music, you're going to have to adjust the audio volume. So once you click on that audio, and then over in the audio toolbar, you should see an option for volume, and you're just going to need to drag that slider down to turn the volume down. Now, once you're finished, another thing that you could do is you can add in, just like we added a title in the beginning, we can add credits at the end. Since you guys spent a lot of time making this, get some props. So credits, you've got a couple of different options: credits, director, starring, location. So if we just do credits, then you can actually enter everybody's name. Same thing, you can change the duration, how long it lasts, text and video. You can also adjust the background color. You can change the font to a different type, a different color, and make it your own. Now, once you're finished, if this is your complete and totally edited video, if I were to go to File, and there's a couple different save options here. So Save Project As, Publish Movie, and then Save Movie. So what I always do is I save two different ways. The first one is Save Project As. So I have not saved this yet. So if I do Save Project As, I'm going to name it. Let's make sure that we put it in Documents and put it in your digital multimedia folder. And then we can name this Scary Maze Tutorial. Now, I want you to pay attention here. This says Save as Type Movie Maker Projects. You cannot turn this one in. So if you submit this, the Movie Maker project file, I can't actually see any of the video clips that are in here. So Movie Maker would open for me, but then when I open it, this video would just have a bunch of X's across. I wouldn't actually be able to view it. So the project file, I'm going to go and show that to you. The project file is very important because if we want to come back and change anything, I have to have it saved as that project file. Now the project file can only be opened wherever your videos, this video here, wherever it's saved at. So this needs to be in the same place or else it won't open correctly. Once I've got it, then I've saved all my changes, I've done everything that I need to. I'm going to go ahead and click Save again just to make sure that my project file is completely updated. Now when you're ready to turn it in, you and your group are going to go down to Save Movie, and you have a couple of different options. I like the one here for high definition display because it's going to be a higher quality. So I'm going to choose for high definition display. Brings up a box, but what I want to point out here is this is going to save this as an MP4 file. This is a video file. It's going to have audio, it's going to have video, but it's going to have everything, and it compresses it all together. So if I were to save this to Documents, Scary Maze Tutorial, and even if you want to put finished, then that way you know that this is the finished or exported version, but you don't have to. But I like to just so I know the difference. Now once I click Save, it's going to take a few minutes to actually go through the saving process. So you can see we're only at 1% here. What that's doing is taking all the different components and smushing them all together so that we've got one video file to be able to submit. So when you submit your work online, this is the version that I need. I need your MP4 video file, not your Movie Maker file. So hopefully you'll have some fun editing today. Don't be afraid to get creative with it. I would love to see a title and credits at bare minimum, and extra credit will definitely be option if you add in pictures and audio files to spice up your movie. So good luck with your editing, have fun, and I hope it goes well.